going to have trouble stopping them.
Yeah, in particular 2 third and longs. We had them pinned back deep in their territory both times. I think one was a 3rd and 17, one was a 3rd and 21, and we didn't execute and we didn't tackle. And the guy broke tackles, and that was the story defensively. Offensively, drove the ball well down there in the second half and got down in position to kick a field goal to make it a 1-score game and got it blocked. Forced us to go for the touchdown in the last drive, which we did, and we didn't get the onside kick. So, kind of the story of the game right there.
Coach, 5:50 left in the game. It looked like drive took quite a bit, though, for being down 2 scores.
Well, in college football, it seems like there's more time because every time you get a first down, the clock stops. So it's essentially like getting a little mini timeout. So we weren't quick to burn our timeouts in that situation. That's not the time where you have to just chunk it every down. And you can get gains and gain first downs by running the ball. Our plan was to go down and score, and then I think at the start of the initial drive, we probably had enough time to kick it deep, use timeouts, and then try to get the ball back and kick a field goal. Well, we didn't score, so we ended up kicking a field goal, and then when it got blocked, it kind of throws your plans out the window. The next drive, the intention was getting a score, which we did, leaving enough time if we got an onside to execute, for 30 yards down the field to get a field goal. They executed the drive properly. We just didn't get the onside kick because at that time, it would have been about a minute left on the clock, and we would have probably had to get about 25 to 30 yards, which is very realistic, and maybe clock the ball and kick a field goal to tie it to go to overtime. But it didn't work out that way.
Coach, you're 0-3 at home, 0-2 in conference. What would be your message to the fans to continue to, I guess, support your team?
Well, to be honest with you, if they're upset and they didn't want to come, they got every right to. They're the fans. But just know that we're going to go back to work and we're just going to keep working hard to get this thing corrected. Trust me, I'm not, I don't have, misillusions about this or anything like that. It's going to take a lot of hard work. This ain't going to be easy, and it's going to take some time, but we're going to go right back to work tomorrow. It's not going to be magic wand time, and it's all going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Players, coaches, everybody, and we'll get right back to it.
Coach, results aside, any positive points that you saw from the defensive effort today for the Warriors?
Again, to get in a 3rd and 21, to get in a 3rd and 17, you got to play well on 1st and 2nd down and pin those guys back. They got some good pressure on the quarterback. There were some tackles for losses to get in those positions, and then we let them get out of those positions. So, there were some positives, but in the end result, those 2 long runs just killed us.
The second one, did you kind of know they were going to do a draw play and just couldn't stop it?
Yeah, well, we didn't tackle. You had guys in place, had a call in place to stop it, and we got to wrap that guy up. And a running back that we knew did not go down easy, did not die easy, and he showed that on film, and he showed it tonight too.
Coach, Monday you talked about tackling was the emphasis this week. Another big rushing game, 350 plus yards allowed on the ground. Just kind of, I guess, where does the defense or what do they have to do to go from here?
You got to keep working on tackling. You got to keep working on fundamentals. You got to keep improving in that area. I can't go out tomorrow and bring in new players. I can't go out and bring in new coaches. I can't go out and bring in a new scheme and everything's fixed. That's not how it works. You just go back to work. We got a lot of work to do. I acknowledge that, and we'll get back to work. And sometimes it's a process.
Is it safe to say that Nathan Jeffrey's not 100% and Aaron Jones kind of your go-to guy?
At the current time, yeah. Nathan, and I love Nathan Jeffrey. He's a little banged up, but he plays hard, and he works hard, and he finishes hard, and he did some nice things out there tonight. And, Aaron Jones did some nice things out there tonight. I didn't look at the total yardage, but Aaron Jones had 127 yards. That's a pretty good day.
He's improving his running through the tackle box. Are you happy with the way that progression's coming along?
Yeah, Aaron Jones he gets better and better, and he's learning each week. There's some new experiences. He even learned tonight on the first, the outside run. He had a tackle for loss. We ran that play about 4 or 5 more times, and he executed it great. And for a young back to do that, to bounce back after doing something like that, just shows maturity on his part. And he's a great player, great kid.
Seems like Jameill had a lot of pressure on him. How much credit do you give 41 and 96 on their side? How much is it for Texas?
I think 41 and the other defensive end are outstanding pass rushers. They've caused a lot of disruption for a lot of people. They had 36 tackles for losses. 41 had 6 sacks on the season. The other guy had 3. So they were disruptive guys. And, Jameill got us out of pressure sometimes, made some nice throws, and they got him a few times. Anybody got anything? All right, thanks, guys.
The offense was clicking pretty well. I mean, was it a decent game, 35 points?
Yeah, except, same story as last week and really the rest of the season. We got to, we come out and score on the first drive, and then we kind of stall for 2 drives. And we just need to come out, fast, come out swinging.
That last drive, you guys started the ball with 5:50, ended up scoring with 5 minutes. Did you want the tempo to be a little bit more quicker, more high tempo?
Yeah, that just comes with, people, guys, because, La Tech played it smart. They were laying on people, when we get tackled and, things like that. So, it's just kind of hard, when you have to wait on the ref. 'Cause, we were ready to go, but you got to wait on the ref to signal, and, so that's the way it worked out.
Is it just a little frustrating? It seemed like every time you guys got close, they scored. Is that just frustrating as an offense?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but, we can only control what we do, So, it's, if they score 50, we got to score 51, so.
Do you feel like there's a sense of urgency in the second half of these games so far, knowing that you have to score to keep your team in the game?
Yeah, and I think that we can keep ourselves out of those situations, by starting fast. That way, if it comes down to it, we can go in, at worst, tie it up at half instead of having to fight back and rely on the defense to get a stop and then score. Because we have to score, pretty much every drive almost in the second half, and it's just hard to do that in football.
Jameill, were you surprised with, talking back about that last drive, were you surprised with the play selection that was called into you, or was it relatively within the scheme what you guys do, given that there was only about 5 minutes to go in the ball game?
No, because he talked to us, and we have those kind of situations in practice every week, and they're just normal calls that we have, and times that we need to score, get the ball downfield, get it out of bounds. So, I wasn't surprised at all.
Jordan, do you start to feel like you're getting on the same page as him?
Yes, sir. Like we said from the beginning, offense, has a chance to make big plays. And me and Jameill are connecting. You can see that.
Can you talk a little bit about that 65-yard touchdown pass?
There's just, it's actually the same play that we scored on the first time. And we were just a little farther backed up. Jameill had the faith to throw the ball, and I just happened to get under it.
You guys are 1-4 now, 0-2 in conference play, 0-3 at home. How do you right the ship, and how do you guys turn this around and make sure it doesn't get any worse?
We just got to come out with a positive attitude. We can't blame anybody. It's not the defense's fault. If we score every time, we win. So we have room for improvement just like they do. We just got to, be positive and come out strong. And we can't have any people that are, dragging us down, that are complaining or stuff like that. We got to, nip that in the bud and just keep going.
How'd you feel about the way the offense was today?
I feel like we, like Jameill said, we scored the first drive and kind of spluttered. It's not just the defense. If we would have scored the next drive and the next drive, we would have been up. And I felt, of course, as a receiver, everybody wants the ball and stuff like that. And, we got the ball to the receivers, to the tight ends. Everyone made plays, and we just got to keep going.
Jameill, kind of talking about how sometimes you guys play in spurts, you play good, then you don't. Do you guys feel like you played better when you were down, or instead of tied or ahead?
Well, I guess you could say that because, I feel like any offense would just because, it's do or die pretty much. If we don't get scores, then we're going to lose. So I think we do play better, if we have pressure on us. But, we got to get out of that mentality and start playing, even when we don't. Or, as soon as the game starts, in the first 3 drives, we need to score first 3 drives. So that way we're not relying on defense to, they have to get a stop. Just like when they get a stop, we have to score. So, it's just, putting the game on our shoulders. So.
Kind of feel like you have to start taking a pretty big load with Nathan, obviously a little banged up.
No, sir. We have great backs, and coach sets the rotation in certain plays, so we're all capable of doing good things.
Seems like you guys are a lot better running the ball in the second half than the first half. Is that anything you put your finger on?
The passing game kind of helped us out with the run game. It opened it up. They were covering the tight ends and Jordan, so it helped us a lot.
Eric, talk a little bit about your improvement of running the ball in between tackles.
Coach Kugler told me as the season goes on, there's not going to be that much space to run outside, so I need to get tougher, get tough yards inside, and make plays from the inside. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Talk about back-to-back weeks going up against defensive ends that could possibly be playing on Sundays. I mean, how is that? How have you seen that? What's your take on that?
There's been some good guys, big guys, and I'm just learning having to stand and pass block on them, and I felt like I've done pretty good, so just want to continue that.
How pleased are you to be on, almost starting with the first team this year?
I'm very pleased. I didn't expect to come in and be in the position I am, but hard work pays off, and Coach Kugler puts talent on the field and the best player on the field. So.